I just want to start this video off by saying that Halo 2 Anniversary is a great game, and I do love it a lot, and I'm glad they made it. But that being said, there are quite a few things that 343 changed about Halo 2 as well. And starting with uh, the fact that elites, or your allies in general, don't dual wield anymore. And that is something that has really bugged me now for quite a while. And I've actually talked about it in a few of my previous videos. But because of that, I've definitely had to include it again in this video because it's definitely a big thing. So as you can see now in the cutscene, you do see the elites dual wield in both the remastered and classic cutscenes. But once you're in gameplay, they're not dual wielding anymore. And this is not just on this mission, it's on pretty much every mission you have elites that dual wield. Even when they're enemies, they don't dual wield at all. And even the more memorable and important moments in the game, such as with the heretic leader, he doesn't dual wield either. All allies don't dual wield in Halo 2, and that is like a big issue that I think is wrong with the campaign to Halo 2 Anniversary. Because as you'll see in a second, the heretic leader in both the remastered and classic graphics for this, he does dual wield and he does shoot Arbiter as he's supposed to, just like in the original cutscene. But here, after the cutscene ends, he will not be dual wielding anymore. And even his hologram clones, they don't dual wield either, which is a big shame. And very unfortunate that that's the case, but that is one of the big things in Halo 2 that 343 did change and mess up. I don't know if it was intentional or if well, actually it's definitely not intentional, because in the cutscene they dual wield, but for whatever reason in gameplay they don't. So that is one thing that 343 messed up. Even the original here, it doesn't dual wield. So yeah. Now for number 2, the fuel rod gun is the wrong size in the anniversary graphics. So here, let's go grab one on Delta Halo. You can only see this when you play as Master Chief. When you play as Arbiter, I believe it looks fine. But as Master Chief, when you pick up a fuel rod gun, let's do it in classic mode first. Here's what it looks like. It's correct in classic mode. Just fine. Everything else is fine. He's holding it correctly. But in anniversary mode, look at his left hand. The fuel rod gun is the wrong size, and therefore his hand is kind of just like floating, or just hovering below the fuel rod gun. It's not actually holding the fuel rod gun. And if you were to look at this in third person, in anniversary graphics, it's still the same thing. See, it looks like he's holding it, but his hand is actually just a little bit below it. But in classic mode, it is correct. So that's another difference there. Now the third thing, this one is not so much an issue, it's just something that, I found kind of interesting, and it is something that was changed. But here on a mission Metropolis, and probably around Outskirts or any other Earth mission, these signs, the street signs here, so here they are in classic mode. I can't even pronounce it. I think this is Tartarus Industries. Yeah. In the anniversary mode, they changed the name of the company. That's on the billboard there. It's now French Bot Industries instead of Tartarus Industries. And I don't know why they changed that, but that is one thing they changed. It doesn't, it's not game breaking or anything. It's just a small detail that they changed. And it's not just that sign either. Pretty much a lot of the signs were changed. So, I mean, they added a few new signs here and there, but adding new signs, that's alright. But the old signs, like this highway sign here. So, as you can see, they also changed this in classic mode. They actually show the distances, like 0.5 kilometers to the next right, or distances at each of those exits. But in anniversary mode, they don't show that anymore. It's like blank. I don't know if that was just like due to laziness or something, or whatever reason, but that's just what 343 decided to change. Most other signs are pretty consistent, but it's just these more detailed signs are the ones that are more likely to be changed. I actually think it looks better in the classic mode because of that, attention to detail, basically. Now for number 4, in custom games for Halo 2, let's say if you do Team Slayer, and if you pick a proper team map like Coagulation, which is actually one of my favorite Halo 2 maps, as is pretty much a lot of people's favorite Halo 2 maps. But anyways, if you start it up on Team Slayer, and everyone's on the right teams, and all the settings are default, the spawn points are wrong. And what I mean by that is if you're on red team, you will spawn at blue base. So here, this is blue base. No, my bad. This is red base, and I'm on blue team. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're on red team, you spawn at blue base, and here I'm blue team, and I spawn at red base. And this is the very beginning of the mission. And basically, both teams spawn on opposite ends. And as far as I remember, this never happened in the original Halo 2. Only on Master Chief Collection and possibly Halo 2 PC, but I don't remember. Now for number 5. This is a major difference in the remastered cutscene. So here, at the close to the end of the Great Journey, Tartarus is actually walking Miranda keys to the console still, as is all his brutes. And this has been pointed out on many other videos on YouTube, but he's still walking here, and then Arbiter just got in. Meaning, what were they doing the entire time? What took them so long that they're just walking here now? Unless it's canon that Arbiter is a world record speedrunner. But I doubt that's the case. So, it's just a weird little thing there that's people have pointed out a lot, because in the original graphics, in the original cutscene, they're already standing there and he's trying to get Miranda keys to activate the Halo ring. So that's correct. They've already been in there for a while, because at the beginning of the Great Journey they were just walking into the control room, so there's no way Arbiter could have caught up to them that fast where they're just only walking into the control panel. So that's something that's I guess a mistake with the cutscene, and also different from the original cutscene. For number 6, another cutscene. Actually, I think the rest of this is going to be pretty much cutscenes, but this is actually one of my favorite cutscenes. I just want to throw that out there first. It's pretty epic. Even the anniversary one is pretty epic, but this is a small detail that they changed. I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much, but that's the point of this video, to point out things that 343 changed or messed up. So in this case, here when they start chasing the Covenant ship that's slipping away, in the original Halo 2, and even in ODST's prepared drop cutscene, you can see that the in-amber Clad actually approaches the ship from the side and enters slip space with the ship at the same time. But here, in the remastered and the anniversary cutscenes, it actually just barely makes it in from behind. So here it is again in anniversary classic mode. Pretty much the same thing. Ship's about to jump. Same dialogue, everything, of course, just different camera angles. But instead, this time, once they approach the ship, it will be from the side. Actually, they're already approaching from the side right now. So yeah, see? They are right here, right on the right side of the ship. And they enter at the same time, because they were keeping up with it, instead of like on the remastered graphics. But yeah, despite all that, it's still one of my favorite cutscenes in all the Halo games. Pretty epic. Now, for number 7, the Delta Halo terrain. What I mean by that is, and this is also a small little detail that you have to look closely to see, but pay attention to the terrain on the Halo ring. Just basically look at all the the land, the continents, or whatever, the islands, and the water. and then we're going to compare that to the original cutscenes later. But basically, what the big difference is, and actually this is what I like better about the anniversary cutscenes in this case. But they actually made their own, landmass down there, a unique map and everything. But in the classic mode, over the Halo ring, when you look at the terrain, as you're dropping down, it's actually part of Africa that's down there. I don't know. I guess Bungie just was lazy back then, just reused the textures for it, maybe from Earth or something. But in the anniversary mode graphics, they created a whole new terrain. So right down there, see, that's a small part of Africa actually, and I mean that part has actually been probably well known for a while, but it's just a small little detail that's easy to miss. See right there, that's the continent of Africa as the drop pod is going in. Alright, so for number 8, this is something that you guys pointed out to me in one of my previous videos. But if you look closely here, I'm playing in slow motion so you can see right now, that phantom that flies in this cutscene, it's flying backwards. Obviously it's not supposed to do that, and it never did that in the original cutscene, but yeah, you guys actually told me about this one. I didn't know about this before. But yeah, that's just one big oversight and mistake by Blur in this case. And I guess no one else caught it. I didn't catch it either until you guys pointed out to me in that video about 10 things you never noticed about Halo 2. But yeah, so here's the original cutscene again, just to show that it was never like that before. See, the Phantom flies in correctly, as it should. You know, flying forward instead of backwards. But yeah, so that is another thing on a list that has been changed about Halo 2. Now for the next thing, for number 9, this one is actually debatable, but most people agree that so when Miranda Keys grabs the cable here to grab the index, she grabs this thing out of the destroyed Sentinel Enforcer there, and in the remastered graphics, it's definitely a metal wire. But in the original graphics, it is a, well, people say it's a Gravemind Tentacle. I personally have always thought it was just a cable, like, you know, like a Forerunner cable or something. It just kind of looked like a Gravemind Tentacle. But most people I talked to, they all tell me that it definitely is a Gravemind Tentacle. See right there? That? I thought it was just like a weird looking cable, but I guess apparently it's a Gravemind Tentacle. So that is a big difference that between the two different cutscenes. In anniversary mode, it's a actual metal cable, but in classic mode, it is a Gravemind Tentacle. Now for the last thing in this video, and this is going back to the dual wielding thing, but this time it's intentional. So in this same cutscene, after Miranda almost falls to her death and Johnson saves her, Johnson realizes something is wrong, so he starts looking around, and well, you don't even see it in the anniversary cutscenes. In the original, Miranda Keys pulls out her SMGs and gets ready. So after this fight scene, which I must say it's actually really cool that they had like a legit fight scene between Johnson and Arbiter. But after this cutscene, Miranda Keys will attack Arbiter. However, in the anniversary mode, she only uses one SMG, and she uses two hands to hold it as well. But the rest of the cutscene is the same. Arbiter knocks out her hands. But in the original cutscene, it's not just one SMG. She dual wields SMGs. But this time they intentionally, changed that. So let's watch that in classic mode again, and you'll see that she does indeed dual wield. See, right here, she just pulls it right out, both of them. I don't know if this is a conspiracy from 343 to, to purposefully like take out dual wielding and like make people think that dual wielding never existed, so that they can accept it in Halo 5 and like other newer Halo games. But it's just dual wielding is a mess in Halo 2, to say the least. But in classic mode, you can still somewhat see it in the cutscenes only. But as you saw for number 1, you don't see it anymore for your allies, which is a shame. But yeah, so I hope you guys found this video to be pretty interesting. And if there's anything else you want to add to the list, make sure to leave that in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this. And make sure to subscribe, because we've got a lot of other awesome videos coming up soon. And we can't wait to share it with you guys, of course. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.